Yo, what's good? Listen, it's me, Gunny, at the Hangar. I've been talking about getting back to live streaming for a while now. Finally, I've decided it was time. Not only did I decide it was time, but it happened on a day like today where there is so much to talk about when it comes to the New York Jets. So, you know what I'm saying? It's here. Episode 1 of Hanging at the New York Jets Virtual Hangar with Gunny is live. If you want to go ahead and get on the show, feel free to go ahead and say so in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and put the link to jump on. Mike Williams is a Jet. Tyrod Smith is a Jet. The New York Jets this offseason free agency period has been ridiculous. I don't think any of us could have seen the master class that Joe Douglas has put together before we got to free agency. Yet here we are. So we're definitely going to go ahead and talk about it.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you what a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you what a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother.
And here we go. So there you have it. So the New York Jets kicked off free agency this year, and I think the majority of us probably thought, it was going to be a long shot for us to be able to get everything we needed to get done in a timely manner. I didn't think that during free agency we would have pretty much fixed the offensive line, fixed the wide receiver 2 issue right before we get to the draft, and do it all for just $23 million guaranteed. I think for me that was the most surprising aspect, that Joe Douglas was able to make this happen for $23 million guaranteed. We're talking about getting our hands on an offensive tackle, an elite all-pro offensive tackle. Again, granted, there's some question marks about whenever he's healthy, et cetera, et cetera. I get it. But at the end of the day, Tyron Smith is an elite offensive tackle when he's on the field. He's a top 3 guy, some would argue a top 2 guy in the NFL when he's on the field operating at full capacity. Last year, he played 13 games. This year, he's a New York Jet, protecting Aaron Rodgers' freaking blindside. On the right side, we got Morgan Moses, a fan favorite. We didn't want to see him go a few years back, but we made the mistake of letting him go. Nevertheless, the New York Jets brought this man back. Morgan Moses is now the right tackle for the New York Jets. What that means is, ultimately, I think AVT gets to go ahead and slide into his more natural position of being a guard, whether that be the left guard or the right guard remains to be seen. Nevertheless, he's at the guard position where I think that's where he actually belongs. I believe in all actuality that him being in a guard position allows us to have an elite guard on the offensive line, vice potentially a good to Pro Bowl tackle on the offensive line. So now he's at guard. Tippmann showed flashes last year of being a quality center. In fact, towards the back half of the season, Tippmann was considered a top 5 center in the NFL. He was performing that well. And then you bring in freaking Simmons. I always mess up his name, but I want to say it's Simmons, from Baltimore, who has been a force when you think about it in terms of, I'm sorry, Simpson. Is it Simpson? I'm seeing now I'm messing it up. It's either Simpson or it's Simmons, one or the other. But now we're talking about a guy that we bring in right now that's going to go ahead and shore up, the left guard slot. Either when you look at it, the New York Jets offensive line getting to this point to me is just, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't see it happen. Didn't see it happening. I really thought it was going to take the draft, maybe some people getting dropped after training camp for us to finally see this whole offensive line coming together. But somehow, some way, Joe Douglas was able to replace 3 starting caliber offensive linemen, one of which is an all-pro. One would say Morgan Moses has played at a Pro Bowl level before we even before draft day. But wait, there's more. The New York Jets also had concerns as to who wide receiver 2 was going to be. Corey Davis, who came out of retirement, decided that he didn't actually want to be a New York Jet after all, wanted to go ahead and test the market, and he's doing so as he's looking for an opportunity to go ahead and play closer to home. I think he forgot that Tennessee Titans gave him away or let him walk away after his first contract. But whatever, I digress. So he's gone. We have Allen Lazard in the building, which, listen, Allen Lazard, wide receiver 3, makes you feel comfortable. Wide receiver 4, I really love him. Wide receiver 2, man, I just don't know if he's got what it takes to go ahead and elevate this roster. But nevertheless, we assumed in the draft we would get that fixed. Oh, no. Then came the great Joe Douglas bringing in Mike freaking Williams. Now, before we talk about Mike Williams, I got to say this. We have got to go ahead and give props out to New York Jets Matt. Like, if you don't know the story by now, like, so New York Jet Matt wind up actually sending a Taylor egg and cheese to the Jets facility. Mike Williams actually got it. In fact, just before I got on here, we have this. So Mike Williams actually got the freaking Taylor egg and cheese. By the way, a delicious sandwich. You've never had one before. I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't had one since the last time I was in Jersey. I think it was the season opener for last year when I was in the tri-state area. I miss it, and now I've been craving one the entire freaking day. I wish somebody would just deliver one to my house, but I digress. But apparently, this may have been the deciding factor as to why Mike Williams is a New York Jet. Don't take my word for it. You can listen to the man himself.
Finish right now? For real?
You want to. You don't have to.
No, I mean, I'm kind of hungry, low key. I'd take like a bite or something. Damn, that good package up good. Do I have to rate it like 1 out of 10? You can rate it.
Why not?
Ooh. Where's this place at?
In Morristown.
It's good. It's good. This one got the deal sign right here.
Hey, you heard it from that man's mouth himself. Apparently, at New York Jet Matt, you did it, bro. You sending that sandwich was the final piece necessary for this man to make the decision to be a New York Jet. He said it himself. This isn't hyperbole. This is facts. You just saw the video yourself. So, I mean, again, this thing went crazy, man. Like, we're talking about New York Jet Matt making a decision apparently sometime last night to go ahead and deliver a Taylor egg and cheese sandwich to One Jets Drive, right? I watched his pod earlier today, and he kind of gave the breakdown of how he had to stay on the phone with the driver and make sure it arrived when it was supposed to arrive. But ultimately, that decision, that $8 investment he made into the New York Jets by getting, I want to say it was DoorDash, he stated, to deliver that freaking sandwich, not only resulted in, of course, us getting the man himself in terms of Mike Williams, but he got national attention because of this. Literally national freaking attention. Like, we're talking about ESPN. It was on NFL Network earlier today. The New York Post wrote a story about this. Like, it's literally been everywhere. Today is a day where we need to go ahead and talk about how we should all think, Matt. I mean, I think this is a legendary move. This is an all-time great for New York Jets Twitter. We're talking about a guy that made the simple decision to show what it's like to be, to be hospitable in that tri-state area, resulting in the signing of a legitimate wide receiver too. But not only that, getting national attention because of it. It's funny to me because it almost seems like the signing of Mike Williams wasn't, I guess, what you would consider to be like the big news. It was how we got to this particular point. Listen, man, I'm sitting here shocked. I was at work when the news came through. I really can't believe that this was how we were able to go ahead and get a guy like Mike Williams to sign on the dotted line. But hey, Mike, if you're watching, if you're not watching, whatever, Matt, my bad, Matt, thank you. I was watching both of their shows, Mike and Matt, earlier today. But Matt, thank you, man. That was, I mean, GOAT move, elite move, man. Like, this is definitely should go into the Hall of Fame for I guess greatest Twitter engagement of all time. So back to what I was talking about in terms of Joe Douglas and how he was able to go ahead and accomplish what he's accomplished. Joe Douglas literally was able to go ahead and put a team together. We're talking about Tyron Smith, arguably the number one offensive lineman available. Granted, some will tell you the biggest concern with him is going to be his injury concerns. He hasn't played an entire season since 2015, I want to say. So we're pushing on almost a decade, which is crazy to me to think that's the case. But nevertheless, he's still an elite offensive tackle when he's on the field. This is a guy, if he can stay healthy, if somehow, somewhere we can get 17 games out of him, I believe will keep the blind side of Aaron Rodgers completely clean. And I think, believe it or not, was the biggest acquisition of this particular offseason in terms of free agency. I was really big on getting Bakhtari, which I still believe the Jets will make a move to bring him in to be a swing tackle potentially, or as the backup, which would be a great win for the Jets. But Tyron Smith was definitively the prize. And we got him in the building, mind you, for a very team-friendly contract. Let me take a minute here real quick, man. I just realized, I just started this new technology here for live streaming. Man, all right, there's a lot of y'all out here, man. Hey, New York Flight Jets Talk, appreciate you. Bonesy was good. Dano, always appreciate you. Jigga Man, hey, what's good, brother? Hopefully everything went good with your boy. Dano again. I see a lot of y'all out here, man. Like, okay. I didn't realize this was going to get this much traction in day one. I was expecting to have to kind of build back to where I was at before. So, yeah, we got a lot of individuals in the building. I appreciate the support, guys. If you want to get on the show, go ahead. In fact, can I just put the link? Here we go. I'm going to put the link on here. If you're interested in coming on, I'm going to go ahead and I want to get some perspectives. A lot of you guys know your stuff. I've seen your stuff either on Twitter or I've seen your stuff on YouTube. You know your stuff. So if you want to get on the show, talk about it, man. An exciting day. We're talking about how we just got freaking Mike Williams in the building. Something I don't think any of us thought was going to happen today. I really thought it was going to take a little bit after he went to go see the Steelers. And then the Panthers, who obviously could pay him significantly more with the amount of cap space they got. So a lot to unravel, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to jump on, talk about it, share your thoughts, I'd appreciate it. Makes my job a lot easier as a host because then I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. It's a lot more fun when you have friends with you to talk football. So by all means, if you want to jump on, jump on. But getting back to it, you got Mike Williams, Morgan Moses, John Simpson. I mean, Tyrod Taylor, another individual who I think last year, had we had him on the roster, you're talking about this team potentially squeaking out 2, if not 3 more wins. Tyrod Taylor's a guy that has a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, a career 64% completion rating, 34 years old, I believe. So, you know what I'm saying? He's in his prime in terms of quarterback years. And a guy who's seen success in numerous different offenses. So I'm a big fan of the signing. Again, injury concerns are obviously an issue with Tyrod. Hopefully that's not going to be an issue while he's a New York Jet. We can only hope, right? Then you got Javon Kinlaw. Now, a lot of individuals, when the Kinlaw contract was announced, were losing their minds, talking about how it was this too expensive, that expensive, et cetera, et cetera. But then we saw the actual numbers come out most recently, and it really wasn't bad. In fact, like it was, if in my opinion, a pretty good breakout. I know we got some void years there to go ahead and minimize some of the costs, but overall, I think Joe Douglas did an incredible job in bringing in some legitimate talent that can assist us on this defensive line while still putting a lot of resources towards offense. We also got Isaiah Oliver and, of course, Fotu, 2 individuals who are going to play more so in a support role. But to me, seeing what he was able to do with the offense was, I guess, the biggest thing. A lot of individuals right now are talking draft, and we're going to do a live mock draft on the show. You know what? Next week, I know the draft's not too far away. We'll probably do one next week. I'll have a guest with me to go ahead and do a quick mock draft. I know a lot of people right now are on the fence when it comes to whether or not they would rather go offensive tackle, wide receiver, Brock Bowers. I'll tell y'all right now, I think the Brock Bowers thing is insane. I would much rather want to avoid that. You don't see a lot of success from individuals, individual tight ends who get drafted in the first round. I know people are saying, oh, he's built different. Yeah, he's built small, right? He's 6'3", not as big as we all thought he was going to be. And the fact that he can go ahead and do the stuff he does at the college level, to me, is concerning because that doesn't mean he can do it at the NFL level. Everybody's big and fast and strong at the NFL. So for me, I'm team no on Brock Bowers. But now, where I was originally really, really keen on going offensive line, I'm starting to see myself kind of take a step back and wondering, like, man, imagine what, a Neighbors could do for this roster, right? Like freaking, or Rome. I'm becoming a real big fan of Rome Odunze. So I'm in this particular situation now where I don't know what direction to go when it comes to this, because I'm all over the place. So if you're interested in offensive tackle Brock Bowers, or a wide receiver, or trading back, which is something I'm also a keen fan of, jump on the show. Let's talk about it. I really want to get your opinion on it. I think a lot of individuals feel very, very passionately about it. So I don't want to go ahead and take away from anybody who would want the opportunity to speak on that. But let's talk about Mike Williams today and what he brings to the table. I think a lot of individuals look at Mike Williams and they have this assumption in their mindset that this is a injury-prone wide receiver. And you know what? I think that's because we've seen him so many times on injury reports. If you're a fantasy football guy specifically, like myself, like you've seen him numerous times pop up on injury reports. And you're thinking to yourself, this is some guy who just stays injured. But you couldn't be more wrong. In terms of Mike Williams, even when he's on the injury report, you'll see guys like Keenan Allen wind up actually being out. Mike Williams plays. He plays through injury, man. Like, the more and more I've looked into his background and actually not just taking away the freaking fantasy football brain, I've realized more and more the guy plays. He does play. And I think ultimately what it boils down to is perception. But one particular aspect that I found really interesting, a special stat line that I saw earlier today that I think warrants mentioning. Let me go ahead and pop that up for you guys here. Boom. So earlier today, this was shared by Eric Allen. There is only, that's just who found the stat. But for all players, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs with 200 plus catches from 2018 to 2023, the real Mike _Dubs is Mike Williams. 11.4 yards a catch per reception as opposed to Yak is second best in the NFL behind only Mike Evans. Mike Evans was, in fact, the favorite of the majority of us. All of us wanted freaking Mike Evans. I wanted Mike Evans. I really thought the Jets should just throw the bag at Mike Evans given the opportunity. But he decided to stay in Tampa Bay. But I think at the end of the day, we all kind of had an idea or thought process that might be the case anyway. So when it happened, was it really surprising? No. In terms of the next best thing for that caliber of a player, big, strong guy who can go ahead and get the ball at the point of attack. He can also run good routes, sure hands. Hey, Mike Williams is right behind him. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I didn't know that. I didn't think he was that close to a Mike Evans. Both of them similar in age. But what really stood out to me was also Williams is one player from 2018 to 23 with 70% plus first downs catch rate. He's at 70.8, 211 first downs on 263 freaking catches. That is an insane stat line. And you know what? Dubs or whoever decided to go ahead and calculate all this stuff and get this kind of data point, because this is an important stat line. This is a 70% first down catch rate. Like, this is almost, it's money. It's automatic. Third downs, fourth downs, 70% chance you throw it to freaking Mike Williams. He's going to get you the first down. I kind of feel like that's a win. I don't know in any scenario where you don't go for that, right? Analytics being a thing, you're going to win more of those than you lose. Obviously, 70% is significantly better than 49%. So that was a stat line that really kind of caught my mind and really intrigued me in so many ways. I feel like we got ourselves a legitimate wide receiver 2. I would argue a wide receiver 1B. Now, Mike Williams always haven't been overshadowed by a guy like Keenan Allen. I think is one reason why we only have him on that 1-year deal. I think that he's looking to bet on himself a little bit, trying to go ahead and get the opportunity to maybe get another contract. I think he's 29 years old now, a chance to potentially get one more contract before it's all said and done. How can we argue with that? I can understand the logic. He wants to bet on himself. But betting on yourself when you've got Aaron Rodgers as your freaking quarterback, that's how you win, right? Some will say it's a gamble, but in my opinion, that's how you freaking win. And ultimately what it boils down to is Mike Williams being the complementary piece to a guy like freaking Garrett Wilson. Again, Conklin, I think, is more than capable of being a dog in this offense with an Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. We've seen the guy do, I think he averages about 600 yards, 50-plus receptions over the last couple of years with Zach Wilson throwing him the ball. So I can only imagine what a competent NFL quarterback would look like having to target Tyler Conklin when he's got the assistance of a Garrett Wilson, a Mike Williams, and a Breece Hall, making it impossible for you to potentially freaking double team him. So again, another reason why I'm off team tight end when it comes to this particular draft. I think Tyler Conklin has proven that he's more than capable. He hasn't gotten in my opinion, he hasn't really gotten the opportunity with a legitimate quarterback. Like what the dude has he's literally accomplished miracles with Zach Wilson at quarterback, Tim Boyle at quarterback, like Simeon at quarterback. Like we've 600 plus yards last year receiving with that barrage of trash throwing him the ball. I don't know how you don't look at that and think potentially, you know what, there's something there. So for me, I'm a huge fan on keeping our tight end room the way it is. I love the makeup of what this roster looks like. Again, just some stats for you guys to kind of get a better understanding of the quality impact player that the Jets are bringing on. And I know that the current concern about his ACL is a thing, but when you look at it, I think the surgery happened, the injury happened October 1st, first week of October. So we're right on track for him to potentially, you know what I'm saying, see massive strides. We're going to be all right. I think Mike Williams, again, 29 years old, you know what I'm saying, still in that prime of his career. Wide receivers, you know, you really look at them from 25-ish to like 30-ish, 32, I guess you can say, depending on the receiver. This is a guy that doesn't depend necessarily on speed, but his ability to go ahead and high point the ball on his strength. And I do believe old man strength is a real thing. So this is an advantage, if you ask me. But looking at the rest of the makeup, right? I wanted to go ahead and break down why I love what Joe Douglas has done in terms of the contracts. So one of the ones I want to break down specifically, a lot of individuals were wondering, man, $20 million to Tyron Smith. That's kind of insane, right? We were paying, I think, up to $15 million for Mike Williams. The fact of the matter is, like, somehow, some way, Joe Douglas is getting these guys on incentive-laden deals. I don't think y'all understand just how like ridiculous that is, because an all-pro offensive tackle, left tackle, has options. People are like, oh, well, he's old. That's why he was so easy to get. No, the Cowboys wanted to keep him. They didn't want to let him go. The Bengals were interested. I want to say it was either Pittsburgh or one of them was interested. Like he had other opportunities to go elsewhere, but somehow, some way, this man decided to choose. I see you in the lobby, Bobby. Let me go ahead and go over this, and I'll go ahead and bring you on, brother. So then he decided to go ahead and use the Jets deal, which I thought was, in my opinion, very, very team friendly. And this goes back to the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. I really believe like a lot of this, yes, Joe Douglas is working magic. He's doing wizard things. But for you to go ahead and get Tyron Smith for a contract like this, to me, is insane. So only $6.5 million of this is guaranteed. And again, remember, I said before, when it came to the offensive line, when we all were sitting here in January realizing how decimated our offensive line was, there's not a single person, I don't care who you are, greatest content creator, not a single person thought in a million years the New York Jets would have their offensive line, their starting offensive line secured before draft day. If you say you did, you're a liar. I'm going to call you a liar because there's just no way. None of us thought we were going to get legitimately 3 potential starting offensive caliber players to fill those holes that we had before the draft. Somehow, some way, we poached 2 great to good offensive linemen from the Ravens, and then we were able to get Tyron Smith, the best offensive tackle in free agency. But the contract is ridiculous because if you look at it, it's on the screen, $6.5 million guaranteed. $500K if he makes the Pro Bowl. I think any Jets fan here would say, I'm all for it. That's fine by me. $250K for each Jets playoff win. I hope we give him the full $1 million that he is owed for each Jets playoff win. Fine by me. And then the rolling incentives are based off of snaps. Again, biggest concern with him was that, hey, can he play an entire season? Okay, maybe, maybe not. We'll find out this year. But if he doesn't, it doesn't hurt us. I mean, it does hurt us in terms of not having that blindside protector for Aaron Rodgers, but doesn't hurt us financially. This is a very, very team-friendly deal. However, Tyron can make buku bucks if he stays healthy for an entire year. And we make it to the freaking playoffs, which I believe this team can make if we can stay healthy. The biggest opponent the New York Jets had this year, I really believe it without a doubt, is health. I think health right now is something we can all agree on. As great as this roster looks, the injury bug has been an issue for us for a long time. And if we can't go ahead and get over that hump, then it all comes crashing down, which is frustrating because I feel like we've suffered enough as Jets fans. And yet it continues to be our spite. I don't know what we did, but for some reason the injury football guides wants to go ahead and continue to make us pay a penance every single season. We've seen it for years now. And if this team stays healthy on paper, the New York Jets has, in my opinion, a top 5 offense or a top 5 roster in the NFL. And that's before the freaking draft. Call it hyperbole. Maybe I'm drinking too much of the Kool-Aid, or maybe it's just too much of this sweet tea and rum. I don't know. I think the New York Jets have a top 5 freaking roster if these guys can stay healthy. But Bobby, thank you, man. I was going on a tangent. So let me go ahead and bring Bobby on real quick. You ready, Bobby? All right, cool.
Hey, how you doing, Gunny?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Bobby?
I like talking to you. You're an awesome guy. I always see you on. I get to talk to you a little bit, but by yourself, you're awesome too.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
So Joe Douglas did it. He checked all the boxes so far, right?
Yep.
He got the backup quarterback, then he gets the right receiver. Then he signed tackles for you guys for the offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't really have to work on the defense right now. So you think they're gonna get the guy from Georgia, Bowers?
Brock Bowers. So I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping they don't.
Why would they need another? They have 2 of them, right?
Correct. I'm a big fan of Conklin. I think people undervalue Conklin significantly because of the fact that he's not putting up Travis Kelce level numbers.
Well, look who was throwing to him
the ball.
year.
Exactly. Exactly. If you break down Conklin's numbers, Bobby, it's crazy because he averages 600 plus yards a year and 50 plus receptions a year with the most inaccurate passers throwing him the football. So I can only imagine what he would look like with an Aaron Rodgers. Exactly. So for me,
who do you want them to pick up?
It's crazy. So I've still been on the offensive line. Pick. I would love a Fashanu. Apparently now Joe Alt has moved down the board. If that happens,
I want the Giant. Well, I'm a Giant fan, remember too.
Okay.
But I do want them. I want Alt on my because we missed out on Zach Martin that year when he went to the Dallas Cowgirls.
That's fair. But if I'm being honest with you again, I want him too. If we get a chance to get him, I'm all about it.
Go for it. Yeah, I like the Jets to pick him up too.
Yeah, I think Joe Alt would be a steal. For me, now I've recently, after watching more and more tape, I find myself falling in love with the idea of bringing in a Malik Neighbors or a freaking Rome Adonze. Adonze has grown on me quite a bit. I don't think either one of them will be available at 10. That's just my thought process. I think that they're just too talented. They're going to go ahead and get taken. So if it's not Fashanu or it's not Alt, I would prefer we trade back before we make the decision to bring in Brock Bowers.
A lot of people would think about trading back.
Yeah.
And also, you know what I'm mad at the Giants did? He got rid of Barkley, and guess what Barkley went to?
Philadelphia. I know that hurts.
Yeah, well, look at what's going to happen this year. Barkley's going to run both games over 200 yards. Wow.
So I saw you on another. I think it was. I want to say it was freaking.
Connor.
It was Connors. I think it was Connors. You said the same thing. So why do you think that's going to be the case?
What case?
That's Saquon Barkley's going to get you off for 200 plus yards.
Giants defense is stinky on the run. They don't have a good running defense. Look what the Eagles do to us every year. Every running back gets like 150 yards every year. Yes, we can't
Okay.
stop them.
So
And
then
look
you're.
at Barkley.
I mean, Barkley's a stud. I was very
Yes, he is.
surprised y'all let him go, and I was even more surprised he went to a rival when he wound up
Oh
leaving.
yeah, I didn't want if he went to a different team, not the smelly Eagles, which I can't stand the Eagles.
That's
But-
got to hurt a little bit.
Oh yeah, I know, but I think the Jets are going to be 11-6 this
11-6. Hey, look.
Yeah.
Hey, I am a from was it God's? No, your lips
year.
to
Oh
God's
yeah,
ears.
yeah. What's his name? Jake says all the time.
Jake
Yeah.
says, yeah, from your lips to God's ears, man. I
Yeah.
hope that's the case. 11-6 definitively breaks the playoff drought that we've been on. And I think a team like this with the kind of defense that we've got, if we have the ability to just get in, I would love to win the AFC East. But
Oh,
the
definitely. Yeah, I think you could.
Buffalo Bills right now currently own that. I'm gonna go ahead and just be humble. They've done
Yeah,
it for the last several
Buffalo's
years.
not going to be the same. Ugh, not gonna be
I
the
agree.
same.
They've lost way too many guys. I think it's
And
just a matter of time.
Miami, forget it, Miami this year.
I
They
will
lost-
say this. I feel like both teams' rosters took a step back from last year, while the New York Jets roster took a step forward.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
to me,
And
that's-
look at the Patriots. We don't have to worry about them.
that's facts. The Patriots are a thing of the past. They've had their time. It's a wrap
Oh
now for
wow!
them.
Oh,
So I'm so glad to see them.
okay. I want to
in the
give you a
doghouse.
trivia question on that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What team knocked out Drew Bledsoe to get to Tom Brady?
Who knocked out Drew Bledsoe to get the Tom Brady? Wasn't that the Giants?
No. Who are we talking about right now?
Oh, is it Buffalo?
No. Your team, the Jets.
Really?
Mo Lewis.
Oh, you're right. That was Mo Lewis that freaking ended.
Yeah, he
his
knocked him.
career.
Remember, he knocked him out of. He hit
You're
him
right.
hard.
You're right.
Yeah,
but if I'm being
then-
honest, though, we should be mad at him because he pretty much, in essence, kicked off the Tom
I
Brady.
know. Look how long Tom Brady lasted for, right? Drew Bledsoe was gone. Do you have anybody else on?
I do. I got several more guys, Bobby. Hey, listen, I
Okay, I'll
appreciate you.
shut
brother.
my
Thank you so much.
Where are you from? New York?
I'm from Jersey originally, but I live in
Oh, where
Houston,
you live
Texas now.
now?
I live in Houston,
Oh.
Texas. Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps for
Houston.
14 years. My last set of orders got me here to Houston. The family loved it, so we just decided to never
Oh,
leave.
so you live close to Jake then? Jake?
I
lives
do.
in
I do.
Houston
Jake
now.
only lives about 30 minutes from me, and we keep trying to go ahead and get together to grab a drink, but
Yeah.
life happens, right? Like, so he's
Oh,
busy, I'm
definitely,
busy,
yeah.
so it's been difficult to go ahead and kind of coordinate that.
And then he's coming to New York.
He's moving back. Yep.
Yeah, let's go New York. I love New York. Okay, I'll shut my mouth.
Appreciate you,
When are
Bobby.
coming on next?
I'll be on every Tuesday. I've decided to go ahead and finally get back on track of having my own podcast every Tuesday. But if you want to see me again this week on Thursday night, I'm going to be at the Thursday Think of It with Green Bean.
Oh, I love Green Bean. Do you? Oh, I talked to you on Green Bean. That's where I talked to you.
Yep. Oh, and
Okay.
tomorrow I'll be on the Battered Jets fan as well.
What is Restream? This is a different one, right?
Yeah, RE Stream. Yeah, I've been doing my research on the best one that I can think and I can give me a quality product without me having to do too much tinkering. And I kind of fell in love with this one. I was doing Ecamm before, a lot of work having to build stuff in the backdrop. I just wanted to make it as simple as possible. A lot of guys
What
use
about
StreamYard. I love StreamYard too, but I felt like this
Oh.
one gave me more bang for my buck in terms
Oh,
of still having
okay.
HD quality.
Yeah, it
So
looks
I kind of
nice.
ran with that one. I appreciate you, Bobby.
Okay,
All right.
I'll talk to you soon. I let
All right.
people come on, tell them I'm sorry. Talk to
All
them.
good, all good. Till next time, Bobby.
Goodbye.
Later. All right, man. I appreciate you guys for coming on. And then I got Dano, oh, my man. Hey, what's up, Dano?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. How you
Hold
feeling
on.
about free agency?
Hold on, let me put my foot on the door so these
You're
guys
fine,
can't get in.
All right.
No, I wanted to first off, I wanted to compliment you, dude. Your 4K is it's set the bar for
Clean,
dude. And usually I have to switch to iPad or iPhone because Windows cannot handle StreamYard. And I was curious. I'm gonna try my laptop. This is, I don't know. Answer as fast as you can to this question.
Okay, sure thing.
Yeah, no lag.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did a lot of research on it. I had Ecamm before, did Restream for a little bit, and it just, I don't know.
Crazy.
And then everybody that I spoke to on the professional side that does real estate investment podcasts and stuff, they were like, "Yeah, we use Restream. We use Restream." I'm like, what the heck is Restream? And then I finally did some more research on it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna
Dude,
try
that's
Restream.
awesome. That
So I'm
is.
glad y'all liking it.
Well, when you're having a conversation, there's a lot of like back and forth, like,
Yeah.
and when you have a 3-second lag, it's horrible.
It's a
Yeah,
pain. It's a pain. Yep.
it is.
I'm
So I
glad
appreciate
y'all
it.
appreciating that.
Dude, for real, this is guarantee you people are going to change after they see this.
Oh, very well. You might have to get me a promo code from RE Stream then.
You know what? Honestly, you might have to. But anyways, Mike Williams. I think a lot of people really wanted him because they wanted insurance in case Garrett goes down. Which I did too, obviously. You want to insure as many spots as you can. But I think the best part of him coming is the fact that it'll free up Wilson on the outside to move inside. I think you could see a lot of looks with Lazard and Williams on the outside. You can get Garrett in the slot. So, what do you think about that? You think Garrett will be on the inside more?
I can see that, but I'm actually a big fan of utilizing Tyler Conklin in the slot. You know what I'm saying? The big slot. A lot of the ways individuals are hoping to get Brock Bowers into the building, to go ahead and put him in that kind of position. I think Conklin is so undervalued for a good route runner. And I would say
Agreed.
he's probably at this stage of his career a better blocker than a Brock Bowers, who everyone says
Oh,
yeah, he blocks really good. But when you watch the tape, it's more of him utilizing his athleticism and quickness to get in front of people, vice blocking people, and that's different.
100%.
That matters at the next level. So, yeah, I think Garrett can move all over. Anywhere he can go in the slot, he can go ahead and be the X, the Y. I think he's that good. It offers him a level of versatility that with a Mike Williams, who's a big body receiver, now you have the option of moving Garrett across the line. And this is another reason why I'm sitting here looking at the draft now, and I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if we went wide receiver, I wouldn't be mad, right? To potentially have a top trio in the NFL, I couldn't be mad about that.
A 2-year window to where then, you might even extend that window if you don't have to pay Garrett. I know people won't want to hear that, but,
I'm hoping to pay Garrett. Good guy,
Yeah.
good character guy, and he's been a
100%.
super having to deal with Zach Wilson as his quarterback. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I'm that patient. So I really trust this kid and how patient he's been.
I do. Like you said, Conklin on the inside is great too. The point is, the surest way of winning games in January is by exploiting mismatches. We have the brain under center that can identify them, and today I think we did get an extra body that'll help us, have more to exploit. The only other thing I is on my wish list is shoring up the secondary for 2025. Reed and MC, I think they have to. We talked about this on Jigga's show. I see. If in my opinion, if you get Reed locked in for 2 years right now, then we can get him off the books before Sauce is due money. True. And then B, he can sign a bigger deal before he hits 30 elsewhere.
And he frees up some cap space as well for us.
But it helps us because 24 and 25 are when we need all of our talent to stay here. We can't just let him walk and then figure it out in 25. So lock him in for 2 years right now. Tear up that last year. MC2, do a three-year deal if he'll do it, and then let's roll. I won't hold you up any more time. And this anti-lag thing.
It's different, bro. Hey, listen, I'll see you here on Tuesday nights.
Thank you, man. I'll see you later.
I appreciate you, brother. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Yeah, that's some great insight on that one. I think that right now we're looking at it having a very youthful group in, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson. Only thing that sucks about that is we got to pay all of them at the same time. Every single one of them, their contracts pretty much are aligned right now. Brees Hall, obviously. I honestly think when it comes down to it, we're going to lose one of those guys, and it's going to hurt a lot. We might even lose two, depending on the depth that we have at a particular position. I know for a fact Sauce Gardner's locked in. I don't think he's going to be gone, which means we have to make a decision between the Garrett Wilson, a Jermaine Johnson, and a Brees Hall. And it's going to be rough when it comes down to that particular point. But yeah, I noticed that, and I was just like, man, we got to go ahead and secure some contracts now to potentially alleviate the need for that to be an issue in the future. But ultimately, right now, I love the way the roster is being built. I sit here and I'll tell you, I owe Joe Douglas an apology. I was really big on him not really seeing results over the last several years. I think that's fair, right? It's a results-oriented business. We haven't really seen results from freaking Joe Douglas. But the fact of the matter is, you can't knock the man for putting in the effort. Like, he's legitimately put in the effort. He's tried. Things haven't worked out, is what it is. But I've got two of my every. Like, I talk to these guys literally every freaking day. Like, there's not a single day where I don't talk to these two guys. I appreciate them for jumping on. Again, these live streams are a lot more fun when you got friends on board as well. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and do that. We've got freaking Adam. And we've got T.E.C. What's good, gentlemen? How y'all doing today?
Fantastic. It is a good day to be a Jets fan.
Isn't it, though? And how are y'all feeling? Because I know we've been talking in our chat, but they need to know, how are y'all feeling today, man?
This is awesome. This offseason is going. I'm not going to say exactly as planned, because I legitimately had no faith that we were going to be able to get 2 tackles. Like, no faith. If you would have asked me at the beginning of the offseason, I would have said AVT is going to be the left tackle and we're taking tackle at 10. Because if it's so easy to fix an offensive line, why haven't the Bengals done it? The Bengals have been trying for, like, how long has Burrow been in the league? 6 years now? However long, you know what I mean?
4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, whatever it is. They've been trying for forever, and they haven't been able to do it. And we got it done. And we addressed what I still think is the number one, or was the biggest hole on this team, which was wide receiver. Going out and getting Mike Williams it's the icing on the cake that is the offseason, and we haven't even gotten to the draft yet. Like, that's the key part.
Yeah, it's one of those things where predicting the offseason, I mean, it's fun to do, but you have no idea what's ever going to happen. You never know who's going to be available in a trade. You never know who's going to get cut, and all these different types of scenarios that are just so implausible, they happen. Now, did I think we would come up with 3 starters eventually? Yes, I did, but I never would have thought it would have happened 1 week into free agency.
Right?
That is what is so amazing. And legit starters. I mean, these aren't the Wayne Hunters of the world. These aren't even the James Carpenters of the world. These are well-respected, very capable veterans who know what they're doing. And for all the people who criticized Keith Carter, and deservedly so. I know we don't exactly have a whole lot of confidence in this man, but you know what? You got some veterans who know what they're doing, and you want somebody to mentor and to teach the likes of Max Mitchell and Carter Warren. You got some guys who command respect, who will command them and will show them the way to be a successful tackle in the National Football League. The offense is – I even did a video just a minute ago. It was a complete – stream of consciousness video, thinking to myself, is this right now the most complete roster that we have seen in like a quarter century? And the draft hasn't happened yet.
Exactly.
It's not over yet. How can anybody Jet fan not be excited about what's coming up right now? Woo!
I'm not gonna lie to you, Adam. I sat there today driving home from work when the news hit that Mike Williams had signed, right? And I was sitting there to myself like, there's just no way. I wound up posting something on Twitter talking about how the Jets went from Steve Urkel to Stephon Urkel because you gotta, because if you know, you know, right? Like we used to have to pay a property, like not property, a
Jets tax,
a Jets tax to get these kind of guys, and these contracts have been team friendly, and like you just said, we fixed the holes we were all talking about. Since January, we were all like, damn, it's going to be difficult for us to go ahead and fill this offensive line. We obviously need some more help in the wide receiver room. Everything we thought we were at a pretty solid spot last year, we all by hell by October, November, we were like, we really miscalculated on that one. And to be sitting here in the first week of free agency, like you just said, to have all that figured out, to go into the draft, literally, it's do whatever we want. Because in all actuality, unless they go defense, I think defense would probably piss us all off. Unless they go defense,
Not at this
they
point.
can go any other route. Like I've been very vocal about not wanting Brock Bowers. I don't want him. Y'all know that we've talked about it in our group chat. I don't want Brock Bowers. But would we really? Could I really be mad about bringing in another weapon that potentially could help Aaron Rodgers? It makes it almost impossible to be pissed off about it. At whichever route they go, again, unless they decide they want to go defensive. So how do y'all feel about the draft, knowing that we've gotten to this particular point right now when it comes to the offseason?
You can go, Adam.
We got 6 weeks, 6 weeks of figuring the answer out to this question. We're going to be able to come up with so many scenarios, and more dominoes are going to fall that are going to sort of manipulate the way that we're going to go. My biggest fear going into the offseason was that we would go into the draft needing to take a left tackle. It was my biggest fear by far, because I figured the tackles we'd have a shot at, Latham and Fuaga, are right tackles. So then when they got Morgan Moses, I'm like, well, I guess this takes Fuaga and Latham pretty much off the board. And then when they signed Tyron Smith, it brought everything right back into play. And it's like, you know what? Whoever the best player is within reason at a position where they could stand to upgrade, it makes sense at this point. I'm not here to tell you this is the player they absolutely need to go and get. I can tell you, outside of Marvin Harrison and maybe Joel, there's no player I think I would want to move up for. I've seen some people talking about wanting to move up for Malik Neighbors. I'm sorry, I'm not there.
I would.
Very good receiver, no question about it, but I would be more than happy to take an Adunze at number 10. Or this, here's the other the great thing about this free agency period. What are the deepest positions in this draft? For the most part, it's like tackle, it's wide receiver. With that third round pick, we could get some really good wide receivers. So guys like Polk, Leggett, Corley, Washington, there are so many wide receivers to get. And now we're really looking at maybe an inside, one of those versatile guys. He probably has to know the X, the Y, and the Z. See Denzel Mims, but we won't hold that too personally. But yeah, there are so many different players that they could pick up at different spots, and I would be excited. But I feel like the foundation, the core of this team, you have like a full starting lineup ready to go. And now it's a matter of how are you going to supplement. I'm okay. I will say this. I'll give you one thought on the tackle thing. Andrew Thomas of the Giants, very well-respected left tackle. When he started out, he was not looking good at all. He was looked like Evan Neal is now. But he needed that year to get it, to figure it out. So if they do direct a tackle early on and it's with the intention of sitting him, I can get it. I can understand that because you don't know what you have with Smith and Moses as far as the injury issues go. So if that's what it comes to, I still think you can make a whole lot of sense out of developing a tackle for 1 year with the intention of them starting next season.
Okay, fair enough. Like that. All right, T, go.
I think, well, the way that I look at it is I haven't changed much on my belief system in the draft, and that is weapon. It's always been weapon, in my opinion. Even before the offensive line was fixed, I was like, I'm not going to take a tackle at 10. I think you go into free agency, you go all that stuff. It's always been weapon for me. And getting Mike Williams doesn't change that, in my opinion. There's not much that I legitimately would look at that would change that opinion. I was just, when you're just sitting there and you're just thinking and you're just like, well, what would happen? And I was going through my mind and I was like, I think the next move is probably OBJ and Jadeveon Clowney. I think both of them are coming to the Jets. And I think, so what happens if you go OBJ and then you move up for Marvin Harrison Jr.? So, because now what you've done is you've legitimately just told Alan Lazard, yeah, screw you, right? You're going to be on this team all year and you're going to suit up, but you're never going to see the field. unless it's a clear, like it's 3rd and 1 on the 1 yard line. And like, for some reason, we want to bring you in to block on the line. Like, that's it. Because you just would be so like, though I still think it's wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver. I'm with you, Gunny. I am really high on Brock Bowers. I love the prospect. I think he's phenomenal. And I think that he's going to be excellent at the NFL level, but not at 10. That's my biggest key, is just not at 10. If you're into Brock Bowers, move back. A tight end in the top 10 is not necessarily what I want to do. But if you're telling me you can get to 15 and you take Brock Bowers, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm really cool with that. But just go get weapons. I saw this in I don't know if you guys saw the Daniel Jeremiah mock draft that came out today. He had us coming up for Marvin Harrison Jr. At number 5. And this was before the Mike Williams signing. And so, but what he did was at 9, he had the Chicago Bears take Rome Odunze. And something that he said in that snippet was the Bears are going the Cincinnati Bengals route of it, but with an offensive line, because the Bears have a good offensive line. But they went and they traded for DJ Moore. They traded for Keenan Allen and then drafted Rome Odunze in this mock. And they gave Caleb Williams no excuses. There's not a single excuse for him not to get into Chicago and immediately start working. And my thought is, well, what if we did the same thing, but with a guy who doesn't need to prove it? With a guy whose bust is already being made in Canton. Like, they've already got the mold. They're just waiting for him to retire. That's it. We know he's going into the Hall of Fame. So what would happen if we gave him a solid O-line, which is what we just did, and just the most weapons he's ever had in his entire career, and the best defense he's ever had in his career? So, yeah, I just think you got to go weapon, because pass catchers make a guy's life so much easier.
I'm going to throw a question out since you mentioned Brock Bowers. Who is the first team realistically in your mind that would draft Brock Bowers?
The Chargers at 5.
You think it is the Chargers at this point?
Chargers.
Yeah, they've traded away their weapons. I don't see why the Bears wouldn't be a great option for them now that they have Moore and Allen. I think it would make a lot of sense. If I'm drafting Caleb Williams, I want to give him every chance that I can, because I feel like he is a very flammable prospect. Upside high, floor bottom.
For Caleb?
Yeah, for Caleb.
We're on the same page. Yep.
Oh, dude, yeah. All of the things that he's insanely good at.
Like in Chicago, that tight end. Oh, I'd love to see him over there.
The only reason I have a little bit of, I think his like ceiling, the highest he goes is the Chargers. But after the Chargers, the soonest he goes is 12 to the Broncos. And the only reason I say that is because Cole Kmet is in Chicago. Yeah, he's really good. That defense in Chicago is needs some work. So if you're at 9 and you can tell me you can get the first defensive player off the board, or at worst the second, depending on what Atlanta does at 8, I think if you're Eberflus as a defensive coach, you have to. You got to bite. You know what I mean? Jared Verse is too good to pass up on him, and so is Dallas Turner or whatever. I was thinking about it. What's the one pick at 10? You like one pick that no matter what happens, you'd be furious, because I know what mine is.
Any defensive player, bro.
See, I'm like, if you if you get Jared Verse, Byron Murphy, I'd get over it really quickly.
I don't think I would. I'd be furious.
I would not be happy. 2 years in a row. We're going
yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it
We
again.
have a
get over it.
Listen, I remember we were all literally talking to each other, like when the pick was Will McDonald, none of us. And we've been putting time, effort, energy into trying to contemplate, okay, how do the Jets get better? Not a single person we know from our content group circle on top of that had Will McDonald as the freaking answer. I can't do it again, man. I can't. If they go anything defensive, I think I might lose my mind. And I'm going to be on air when it happens.
We in the first round, let alone go into the Jets at 15.
Right.
See, again, I'm with you. If it was like, if you tell me we got Jared Verse or Dallas Turner or Byron Murphy at 10, right? I'd be upset in the moment, but I would get over it really quickly. The one that it would take me a while to get over, I was thinking about this, is if we went corner at 10. Like if the Jets, like it comes out, Goodell comes out and it goes, New York Jets select cornerback, Quinion Mitchell, Toledo, I would freak out. I'd be like, not in a good way. I'd be, I could understand an interior defensive lineman because literally the only body we have that's worth a damn is Quinnen Williams. Edge, cool. Let's have the best edge class, the best edge room the NFL has ever seen, whatever. Corner, the one position that we undoubtedly, we have the best trio in the NFL. You can't get better at corner. You can't get, if they were to do that, I might do like, I might have to go to the hospital.
You don't feel like drinking the Kool-Aid, Tigo?
Oh,
no, God, don't do that. Don't do that.
Dude,
Gunny, did I tell you the story of the draft party last year with the whole Will McDonald thing with what happened at our draft party?
No, I don't think we had talked about it.
All right, I gotta tell you. All right, I'll tell you the story.
Kick it.
So we do a free giveaway to get people to come out on Thursday night, do the draft party. So what I do is I write down like pretty much every name I could think of that the Jets might realistically draft, and I include things like any quarterback, any kicker. Like I go like deep. Whoever the first player is, the Jets pick, and if that player is on there, then they win whatever the giveaway is. I wrote down 37 or 38 names. I did not include Will McDonald. So my friend Chip, who had the slip of paper marked other, he won because I never even thought it was a possibility that Will McDonald would be the Jets' first draft pick. I'm like, here, Chip, 68 years old. Here's your framed Jets photograph. Like
Other.
8x11. Yeah, that actually, it was so crazy. That other one. So.
This is too good, man. Have you seen the New York Jets Twitter page yet?
It's been on fire today.
It's been nonstop. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like
No, the new
post.
The new
is it the sandwich?
It's the sandwich with the bite mark in it.
So I cannot believe they got video of that.
They got 3,000.
So the profile pic for the New York Jets right now is the sandwich with the bite in it, and they uploaded a video like a couple of minutes, like maybe a couple of hours ago, where they gave him the sandwich. I don't know if you guys have seen the video.
Oh, I already shared it. In fact, you know what? Well, I got you guys here. Some of the cool stuff that this thing lets me do. Hold on one second. Since you guys are already here and y'all didn't see it when y'all first jumped on.
Oh.
Fish right now? For real?
You want to. You don't have to.
No, I mean, I'm kind of hungry, low key. I'd take like a bite or something. Damn, that good package up good. Do I have to rate it like 1 out of 10?
Why not?
Ooh. Where's this place at?
In Morristown.
It's good. It's good. This one got the deal sign right here.
Listen, I had to share that, man. The moment it popped up before I got on the live, I was like, yeah, I gotta go ahead and
this went a lot better than when we made cupcakes for Dante Hightower. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh man, I can't. It's one of those like days where it's like an epic win for Jets Twitter, right? Like again, at New York Jets, Matt was probably literally like he said on his stream earlier today. He just thought like, you know what? I just show him some love because we want to go ahead and get the guy there. Just thought nothing of it, and this thing has literally gone nationally viral.
Dude, it's got legs.
Bro,
I'm amazed.
I saw it on NFL Network. It was on ESPN. It's been all over Twitter. New York Post story on it. Listen.
There's merch. I don't know if you saw the merch.
I'm glad you said something. Let me go ahead and show y'all this. Let me see. How do I pull this up? This is different.
I'm seeing the merch because you retweeted it.
Where's the page?
Mike Williams' nickname now has to be Tech, doesn't it? It's got to be Tech. We just got to call him Tech. There we go.
Listen, if you want your freaking T.E.C. for the win shirt, all I know is athletelogos.com already jumped on it. And as you can tell,
that's what FTW stands for?
Oh, well, Well, yeah, for the win.
I had something else in mind from watching ECW way back when. Okay.
A little bit different. This is a child-friendly show.
Okay, for the
Yeah,
win.
For the win.
all right.
TEC for the win. Right? Hey, you can go ahead and get your shirt. I'm ordering me one of these because, again, New York Jets _ Matt will be getting freaking royalties from his genius endeavor that allowed Mike Williams to go ahead and sign with the Jets. Listen, this whole thing to me, it's crazy. Whoa, hold on now. It's crazy because who thinks of this? Like, it's such
real, dude.
Right? Such a thoughtful aspect of it that blew up to this point. Even he was sitting there like, I had no idea it was going to go ahead and get like this. But it was a genius. It was a genius. $8.70 got this man national attention today, and signed the New York Jets #1 wide receiver option in free agency. That's insane. I don't see the logo got changed. You said the logo got changed too?
No, not the logo. The profile pic.
The profile pic.
The New York Jets Twitter profile pic. It's the sandwich.
I was looking at the sandwich that the Jets posted. I swear, if you look close, there's like 2 eyes and a nose in it, and like a bald head. It's like ridiculous. But I swear, there's like 2 white lines going across the roll. It's like a face with like a with a bite taken out of it. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's so strange. But and I put this in the group chat, but I'll say it here. There's one grocery store within like a 45-minute drive of where I live, and tomorrow I'm going down. I'm getting some Taylor ham pork roll. I gotta go. I gotta go get some of it, and I may have to have some on the show tomorrow night. I don't know.
Oh, they really did it! I can't believe they actually did it,
dude. It's again. This has got legs, man.
I gotta share this with y'all now that I've seen it.
Dude, it's got legs. This thing is gonna keep going.
You know this is gonna be on flight.
Bro, here's the thing.
Gonna be on flight during the off season when the series comes out.
Here's the thing, Gunny, right? I'm gonna speak this into existence. Words have power. When we win the Super Bowl and we're all there for the parade, they're not gonna launch T-shirts. They're gonna launch Taylor egg and cheese sandwiches.
Taylor egg and cheese, bro. I'm
in the
there.
cannon, it's just good.
I'm freaking there,
dude. If it's a Super Bowl parade, I'll eat a spam sandwich. I don't care.
Dude, they're just yeeting those things into the audience, like into the how do you not?
You have to.
Every year, it's incredible because every offseason, the New York Jets fan base stays winning, regardless of the state of the team. I don't ever want to hear anything from another fan base about their loyalty, about ever again. You're not allowed to say a single thing. Y'all didn't go and find the private flight that Aaron Rodgers was on and track that stuff. You weren't in a ghillie suit in the bushes to find out your coach was hired. We were. You didn't send the man a freaking egg and cheese sandwich to try to get him to sign a Taylor egg and cheese sandwich. You didn't do that. Like, you haven't. No other fan base has. And they have no legs. None. No one's getting national attention because we found out Robert Saleh was the head coach because there's a guy hanging out in a bush.
In the bushes.
Scoping out the team.
I don't think anybody from New Orleans sent Chase Young any gumbo or a hurricane.
Exactly. No one sent Chase Young a po' boy.
Nope.
Right?
I mean, they should have, but
no one did that. Like, who dat? Yeah, literally. Who are y'all? Y'all suck. Every other fan base sucks. They're all the worst.
They wish they could be us.
And the best part of it all is that we're this dedicated, and we have no reason to be. This team has done nothing to earn our loyalty.
I saw this one Dolphins fan. He rated every position with every team in the AFC East, like from quarterback all the way down to special teams, and he ranked each team in order. And I and a bunch of Jets fans, like, he put the Jets running backs like third in the division. The offensive line was third. He put quarterbacks third because Zach Wilson is still on the team, and he said Aaron Rodgers is special. You're putting him behind Miami.
Again, it's fan bases.
We will find out. You can't, you don't make it personal, but I'm like, dude, what are you talking about right now?
It's fan bases that can't look at things objectively. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, we have fans that can't look at things objectively either. Like one of the big ones that has been like really going on is like the Nathaniel Hackett didn't know that Brees Hall can catch balls.
Oh
And my
God,
thing
bro.
is like to be fair, he can't. Like he's not a route runner. We still need a third down back, in my opinion. That's the biggest need the New York Jets have now at this point.
Oh yeah.
Because like he can catch a dump off. Totally cool with that. It's going to be a big. He's going to go for 600 yards on a little dump off, like this upcoming year. But he's not a route runner. That's what I really want. That's what I want him to work on all off season, so that he can just shut me up. Is Brees Hall's route running ability? Because can you imagine we come out with one wide receiver? It's just Garrett Wilson, right? Two tight ends. It's Jeremy Ruckert and Tyler Conklin, and a fullback and a running back. So the fullback, let's put it Kenny Yeboah, right? Or we'll put Yeboah on the line and Ruckert in the backfield. You get into the formation, and then you motion out Ruckert, and then you motion out Conklin, and then you do that little shuffle motion that we saw a lot from last year from San Francisco and Miami, where Rodgers just throws his hand to the side and Brees just does a little bit of a shuffle so that he gets past the offensive line so that he can start running his route. Because how do you stop that? Because you come in with your jumbo package. It's 3 tight ends on the field. So you're going to come in with your big boys, and then everybody just goes out wide because they're all pass catchers. You still drop 6 in protection because Kenny can block, right? Or do the same thing, but throw Bowers in there. So now it's Bowers in the backfield, Ruckert and Conklin on the line with Garrett out wide. And then you just motion everybody out wide. And it would just be, you can't stop it. This is where like I'm starting to get really excited, is because now we've got the mind in Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be able to take advantage of all this stuff, and the personnel, because you don't have to drop 7 guys into coverage to hope that you can block 3 and then still lose that protection battle.
Right.
You
and
know,
you have an offensive line that is amazing at mauling, at pulling, getting out into space, getting to the second level of the defense. That's going to make it even more dangerous. And that might actually help Izzy more. Again, I don't expect him to get a whole lot of time. And I don't know what we're going to do at running back. I mean, the running back I've wanted since the beginning is Dante Foreman. I felt he would come at a very reasonable price.
Nice.
He runs with some power, young legs. That is somebody I would really like. But if they do wait for the draft, there are a lot of running backs that are very intriguing. That you don't even have to get one. You can get a really good one on day 3 if you really want to. So I'm not sure where they're going to go. That's like the one position. It's like, I don't know if they're going to go free agent or draft. Wide receiver, I think, is going to be draft. I think they're going to go a little bit younger there. And Teagle, like you said, a guy like you want a route runner like a Malik Washington or a Malachi Corley. That's somebody that would be really, really intriguing for me. And I think they're going to draft.
What I want to do, I'm going to cut you off real quick because I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a chance to kind of give me your breakdown of what y'all think y'all would like to see happen between now and the draft, right? But I got to take a look here because Wild Wave, appreciate you for the heads up. This is awesome stuff because, again, Mike Williams just got here and already my man is supporting the tri-state area.
Yep.
But like for me, that says a lot, right? It seems like a good portion of the guys that have come on recently have been going to Broadway shows. They're going to the freaking basketball games. They're going to baseball games, literally engulfing themselves in that tri-state area experience and tri-state area of sports. And it's not just about football. I don't know, for some reason I found quite a bit of joy kind of seeing that because, yes, I get it. You're on the team. You're a player on the team. But embracing what makes us who we are, to me, goes a long way for me. So what you guys think about Mike Williams literally at the game right now, watching the Brooklyn Nets?
I wish you had been at Madison Square Garden for the Rangers game. Besides, they're playing the Jets. No, but no, that is super cool that he's there. I don't think he's even with who knows if he's with anybody, but the fact that he wanted to go, he could have just headed right back to wherever he lives, but already getting himself ingrained into the New York culture. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. It's like an arena that's probably about half full. I mean, he should get a lot of attention, right?
The way that I look at it is all of New York right now is on the come up. And like what I mean by that is like all of sports, period. The NBA, the NHL, the MLB, the NFL it's all better when New York sports teams are doing better, right? And now that you have the Jets as a destination that players want to go, and when they get here, we all know these guys like basketball. The Knicks are doing really well. You know what I mean? So you can go and catch a Knicks game and see a team that's, got a over 600%, 600. They're what? They're 41-27 right now. Like, that's a really fun team to go out and watch. And, Jalen Brunson's story is awesome and all of that stuff. And then the same thing goes in the NHL, because the Rangers are kicking ass this year, and the Islanders aren't chumps. They're fun to watch as well. And, so are the Devils. And so, like you were saying, it's like, and when baseball season starts, it's one of those things like going to a Yankees game is going to be fun this year. Going to a Mets game is going to be fun this year because, well, it's fun when your teams in your city are winning, and that's a thing that's really, really cool. It draws more people here. We've got all of this excitement and stuff going on in New York. And before, you used to have to sell Broadway to these athletes. And dude, I doubt any of these guys were theater kids growing up. You know what I mean? Other than Solomon Thomas, I'm not sure very many of them are going to be able to appreciate Wicked or the Michael Jackson show really to the deepest level, right? Because not many of them are going to Stanford like Solly is. But when the Knicks are doing well and they're in a playoff hunt and oh, it's cool. Let's go to a Knicks game. We got the bye week off. Let's all hang out with the boys. And let's go to a Knicks. Like, that's a thing now. And it wasn't before. There was no incentive to be like, you'd be like, I guess let's go to a Knicks game. Like, who are they playing?
Yeah, and it's challenging when you have like 9 teams, in the tri-state area among the 4 major sports. And, Nick Mangold's one of my favorite Jets of all time, but one of my favorite things he ever did was yell at the referees during a Rangers playoff game at Madison Square Garden.
Like I'm about to yell at Gunny. Great introduction, Gunny. Thanks.
Nah, I actually just saw you there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went to go ahead and click. There's a little line next to you to go ahead for me to go ahead and message you directly. I clicked the little button, so my bad. Hey, what's up, Nick? How you doing, man? Hey, Nick's in the background.
I'm sorry. Nick is not my name. Read my name. Read my name properly.
Big Dick Joe Douglas is in the house. I wanted to go ahead and bring him on. He would, of course, wait till the end of the stream to go ahead and show up, even though I messaged him like 45 minutes ago. But I digress.
Texted you back. We have our house meeting on Tuesday nights. As soon as the meeting was done, I evacuated my bowels and came downstairs to join you.
Evacuated my bowels.
I started taking Ozempic yesterday. Today is very temperamental. Let's just say
very well,
today.
very well.
I'm glad
to have
go
you,
anywhere.
Nick. We were actually just discussing what we would like to go ahead and see for the remainder of the offseason here, going into the drafts. Adam, are you done? Are you done, Adam?
What?
Are you done?
Go on. I lost track anyway. We're over.
He said, "Yeah, but whatever."
I saw Nick in the Oval.
Pigo went on a 45-minute soliloquy about New York
from
sports.
my mind.
Wait, 45? It was like 2 seconds. Relax, dude.
I started evacuating when you started, and I got here.
He said started.
I am a wordsmith, my friend.
I will say this. I am here where the New York Jets will be next year. I am dropping the hammer now. We will be here with new leadership and the New York Jets.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just
book it. I'll tell you right now. We were excited last year. All of us. We did shows together. We're in a chat together. Each and every one of us was ecstatic when we got Aaron Rodgers. The biggest blessing of Aaron Rodgers getting injured is we saw the flaws on this team. They got exposed. We were told we were going all in. People mocked that because 6 hours into the tamping period, nothing happened. Here we are 8 days later, and the New York Jets have addressed every need that they had. Said they would get 3 starters on the offensive line. Check. We said they needed to get wide receiver 2. Check. We needed a backup quarterback. Check. We needed to get depth at defensive tackle. Check. We needed to address safety. Brought in Chuck Clark. Don't think we're done there yet. Would love Ashton to come back.
Come back.
But check. We have 0 glaring holes going into pick number 10, I said repetitively, and all of you can attest to this, the worst job that Joe Douglas could do is to go into the draft with the entire football world knowing we had to take a certain position at number 10.
Facts.
Joe Douglas has positioned the New York Jets to not only draft multiple positions now, but the possibility to trade up and go get somebody that he says this is the final piece, or take whoever falls to us that they love, or trade back now and get another pick to add multiple players because we have so many one-year deals. The New York
What would you
Jets,
prefer?
That's a great question.
Me personally,
Yeah.
I want all in. Go up and get Neighbors or Harrison. I want all in. I said it the other day with Boy Green on my show. I don't want to half-ass all in like I'm pushing scared. Go to fuck all in. And here's why. Everyone talks about the offensive line injuries time and time and time again, and we need 12 offensive linemen, and we should just draft linemen in the draft. What if G-Dub gets hurt? What are we going to do then? Mike Williams coming off an ACL. Might need a little bit of time to acclimate, right? Like, we can't expect everybody to come back like Breece Hall and bust off a 27-yard run on their first carry. We can't expect everybody to be Adrian Peterson 2.0 like Breece was. There might be an acclimation period for him. What if Joe Douglas just says, you know what? I got my 5 starters on the line. I got enough defensive players. We signed Clowney because I'd rather have Clowney playing the run and Will McDonald rushing the passer than Will McDonald playing the run and Bryce Huff rushing the passer. So the tandem is better, I think, with Clowney than it would have been with Huff, and it'll be cheaper. Go to fuck all in. Go all in. If somebody wants to trade up to 4 and Arizona bails out of 4 and they take J.J. McCarthy and quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4, how about you call the Giants at that point and you get the 6? And then if it's Harrison or Neighbors, go all in. Go all in. Because we can't keep relying on the receiver to be healthy every year. Eventually, eventually, other positions besides offensive line are gonna get injured. Not that I'm
or we can just go ahead and pray to the football and injury god and say, listen, we've had enough. We've paid our penance.
Real.
There's one major acquisition the Jets still need to make this offseason. Natural grass.
That would be nice. That would be nice. I mean,
That's
again, with the
I
World Cup coming here next year, you figured they
They're
try
not
to go
keeping
ahead and try it out on the football team.
I see Dane asking. Monica was right over here on the chair.
Real quick, Gunny, while go look what the Brooklyn Nets just put on Twitter. They delivered the rest of the sandwich to Mike Williams at the game.
What?
And
Wait,
it's on Twitter.
you didn't finish the first one?
Well, because he only took the one bite. And so they delivered the same bag, the same sandwich, saying, hey, we see you didn't finish the sandwich. So
Bruh,
here you go.
I gotta play it.
Oh, boy.
I just thought,
do it.
dude, this joke has legs, man. They got him.
Matt has created.
That's good shit.
I'm willing to bet that sandwich didn't come from Morristown, but that's another story.
I tweeted it. Go guys, go retweet this, please. I tweeted at DoorDash that we need a commercial with Matt NYJ and Mike Williams in a DoorDash commercial for New York City. Please go retweet that.
Oh, that'd be so good.
100%.
I like that. Would you? Is that AI? Oh man, that'd be a great tattoo on my forehead.
Hey, good catch, Tigo. I've
got the 3 monitors, so I've for the last couple of days.
I've got one here, I've got one here, and I've got one here.
I just got Twitter on this one just because you never know.
I've got 2 monitors, but one of them is called a cell phone.
I like that Tigo changed the Google computer, the Google monitor, and I cheat at trivia to the Twitter monitor now.
That is not.
I asked you a question one time, and you went like this immediately. Right to that computer, and I was like, "Oh, that's."
I googled that one question. Then you told me I wasn't allowed to, and I stopped.
And I'll never let you live it down. I'll never let you live it down. Well, Gunny, I like the background, bro.
We need your take, brother, on what you expect to happen between now and, of course, the draft. Or would you prefer?
I think we're going to see. You're going to see tinkering in the roster in terms of money for the Jets. I think you're going to see a DJ Reed extension. I think you're going to see a JFM extension. And so the idea yeah. I think it's going to be an extension. And the reason I say that is one, I think JFM has been sneakily underappreciated, our best edge rusher for a long time. Just because he can play every single down. He is part of the NASCAR package. Like, there is not a situation in which JFM is not on the defensive line. It's third and long. JFM bumps inside. He's part of your NASCAR package. You throw in Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald on the outside edge. You need to stop a run. JFM's in on that package. It's 1st and 10. You have no idea what's going to happen. JFM is a part of that starting 4 on the front 4. So I think that his value is underappreciated by Jets fans personally. So I think that the Jets, they see his value. It's either going to be a restructure or an extension. My bet would be an extension. I think of the 2 corners, one of them is going to get an extension, whether it's MC or DJ Reed. And I think that they're going to go DJ Reed because I think they're going to think that they're going to be able to recreate MC2. I hate to say that. Because I want to keep everybody. But the salary cap exists, and I don't know if you can. And then we're going to see a Quinnen Williams restructure late, which is going to open up the door, in my opinion, for us. I think that there are 4 signings that the New York Jets are going to do from now until week 1. And those 4 signings are, I do think we're going to get Jadeveon Clowney. I do see the New York Jets going after a running back. I have recently, I'll give credit where credit is due, and part of it is because of Adam hopped on the Donta Foreman bandwagon. I would love to bring him in. But I also think that the New York Jets are going to take low money flyers on a wide receiver and on a running back. In terms of like, hey, it's not a ton of money. Maybe they play and maybe they don't play. And I think those 2 guys are probably going to end up being, I would take a league min deal flyer on J.K. Dobbins. And then I would bring in OBJ to be wide receiver 4 so that you can go in at 10 with no need. There is no need for this team. Technically speaking, the 4th signing is supposed to be David Bakhtiari. I think David Bakhtiari comes to the New York Jets to back up Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
And the whole point there is with those 4.5-ish, because the one I don't think that might actually happen is J.K. Dobbins. So those 4 signings, Bakhtiari, OBJ, Jadeveon Clowney, and David Bakhtiari, if you do all 4 of those things, you go into the draft without a single need. No one can predict what you're going to do at 10. Because could you take a left tackle? You could.
Yep, you could.
You could. Could you take a right tackle? Well, you could, right? Could you take a wide receiver? Well, yeah, but like you have technically a really good wide receiver trio, and you maybe assume that Alan Lazard is going to come better. Can you take Brock Bowers? Yeah, why not? You can, right? Like, can you take an edge player? Like, you can. They did it last year. We didn't need it, but they did. Can you take an interior defensive? Like, you go into the draft and you're an enigma. No one can predict what you're going to do. No one can know what you're going to do. And it helps prevent the situation that happened last year, which was we clearly wanted Broderick Jones. Everybody knew it. Broderick Jones was the perfect fit for the New York Jets. And the Steelers came up and they took him right out from under our nose. And by going into the draft without a single major need, you control the draft at 10. Because now you can sell the dream to any team.
That's facts.
You want to come and get Olu? That's who we were going to get. You got to convince us to not take Olu. You're coming up to go take, I don't think he falls this far, but like JJ McCarthy. We fixed the team so that we can get the heir apparent at quarterback for Aaron Rodgers. So now you got to convince us to come back off a 10. You want Brock Bowers? Exactly. You want Brock Bowers? Well, we cut our tight end. We need one. What are you going to convince us to get out of 10? And now you hold all the cards. So for me, go and fix the little holes in the roster, which for me is running back 2, wide receiver 3, left tackle 2, and wide receiver 3. If you can fix those things in free agency with low money deals, you're done. You're done. Everything else goes to the window.
I remember a couple months ago. Well, guys, the Jets are on the clock because Gunny said T.E.C real quick, but he took so long to answer that question. The draft started. So here we are on the 10th pick in round 1.
Honestly, for T.E.C, that was quick.
Yes.
Like, if I'm being honest. For
Yo,
T.E.C, that
I'm
was
a
quick.
wordsmith.
And I know that.
Invite
And
me if you don't
I have,
want
and
to.
this is why I'm not mad about it. I know exactly what I got into with this
You
crew
sent
right
the
here.
link.
I sent the link. I already know. And I'm not mad. I'm good. We're good. We're fine. I'm just saying, for you, T.E.C, that was actually kind of quick. That's all
To
I'm
the
saying.
point. I didn't even go.
quick.
I had 3 analogies and stories that could have come up. I didn't talk about that. None of it, dude. I had a Navy story in the back pocket. None of it came out. I stuck to the point. I didn't stray from the Jets once.
Adam, all right, you're up.
Which of his 8,900 points would you like me to respond to first? No, I say it with love. I'm actually very disappointed.
It's like his points are like the board behind The Usual Suspects with Kobayashi and everything. So many
But
shit.
they all lead to one suspect. It's the Jets winning the Super Bowl.
This is true.
You win me over with
It
that.
all connects.
And
it all connects.
he's gone.
Boom. That's it.
Gone without a trace. I'm actually very disappointed that one of T.E.C's signings was not Justin Hardy, but we know the deal there.
I don't think we need him.
Nah, I don't even know if they do. I think Isaiah Oliver, believe it or not, was kind of with that idea in mind. So I think if they bring back Ashton Davis, I think that'll kind of go a long way towards that. But yeah, I'm not even sure what the question is.
I mean, end of the season. I know you were starting before, and I put a twist in it. What do you want to see happen? Vice, what do you think will happen?
Oh, for the rest of the offseason?
Yeah.
I at this point, as far as free agency goes, yeah. I mean, I would like to get a veteran running back in place, but I kind of like to bring somebody. I just want somebody with a little different profile than Brees. I mean, Izzy's going to be here, so I would like to get more of a power running back because we think about what some of the biggest issues were last year. 3rd down, red zone. Well, Mike Williams is going to do a heck of a lot to fix the red zone issues, as will Aaron Rodgers, because he knows how to read a defense, and he knows how to put the football in a place where only his receiver can go up and catch the football. That kind of helps. Now we get into the 3rd down situation, and I would like to see a little bit more of a bruiser. So in the draft, I'm looking like at an Audric Estime, at a Braylon Allen, a bulldozer. Those are 2 guys that could do it that you could get in the 3rd or the 4th round. So that's something that I'm looking at. I would like to bring Ashton back in this is that 3rd safety, but the Jets are letting him. So is Oates. See what's out there. We've seen the safety market pretty much start to. It's not there's still some good ones out there on the market, but a lot of the good ones have signed. But I would like to see them draft one of those as well. I guess the big thing that I'm thinking about is where would they go get a quarterback, a 3rd quarterback to develop, and would they do that this year? Because you probably are going to have a 3rd one on the roster, I would think. But where are you looking to make that move? Is it 4th round? Is it 5th round? Or is it even sooner? I personally wouldn't do it until day 3. I think you could get a Joe Milton. You could get, I don't know about Michael Pratt. I'd like to get him. I don't know if he's going to make it to round 4. But those are some of the guys, or if you even want to wait till the end, because remember, we got some late picks, including Mr. Irrelevant. Got to pick somebody with that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Carter Bradley makes it all the way down, just as a for instance. So I think the biggest thing that I'm not sure about what the Jets are going to do in this draft is, will they get a quarterback, and if so, where do they pick him? That's the big question I have.
So, all right, I need to be jumping off, but I gotta get your opinions on this. Mekhi Becton right now has been shopping around trying to go ahead and get an idea of whether or not he's going to have an opportunity in another roster. So, gentlemen, if Mekhi Becton obviously potentially is not on another roster and he has a chance to come back and be a New York Jet, again, not as a starter, I think that has passed, but potentially as a backup or a swing tackle. How do you feel about bringing back Mekhi Becton?
No.
He was treated like shit here by the fans, by the media. Kind of like the Sam Darnold. They deserve better. I'll say that. I mean, the guy got hurt. He tried his best. I thought he was unrightfully trashed. I didn't have faith in him, but not having faith in someone is different than attacking them like on social media, which was being done. Go someplace that appreciates you. Go someplace and start new. Athletes don't deserve that. They don't deserve what sometimes the New York fan base gives. Best of luck to you, man. Go somewhere else. And I want Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson going against him. I don't want him blocking for us. I want to be going against him if you talk X's and O's. But I don't think I think that the worst thing would be for him to have to come back into a game here. The fans would be relentless on him, and he don't deserve that. Go somewhere with a fresh start. Change the scenery is always good for an athlete who's been run through the ringer, and he has been run through the ringer by media and fans. So
fair enough.
I'd take Bakhtiari, and I would take Bakhtiari on a cheap 1 year, $5 million deal that can go up to 10 or 12 based on playing time or whatever. And let's not forget, AVT is a swing tackle if 3 guys get injured. So it's not the first choice, but AVT has proven he can be a swing tackle. It's not the first guy you move, but if player X, whoever is brought in to be the first backup at tackle, and then Warren goes down, and I don't think Mitchell makes the team, I'll be completely honest. But then that AVT is your 5th tackle.
Yeah, I just disagree with that last thing that Nick said. But other than that, I think a lot of what he said made a ton of sense. If you take out all of the history with Mekhi Becton, and you're talking about like just straight up, would I take Mekhi Becton as a backup swing tackle? I would, but there's baggage there, right? He's been subtweeting and adding the Jets when it comes to his injury history and all that stuff. He's the one who started all of this, and I still can't believe that this is still going on, but the whole Keith Carter snowball that has turned into now we're going to not be able to sign.
Shout out to Snowball in the chat. Well done, Tigo.
Snowball, Jake.
Because of the fact that Keith Carter coaches hard. Oh my God, players aren't going to sign here because Keith Carter coaches hard. That was dumb. But when you go into all of the stuff that's going on, all of the extracurriculars that happen, I don't think he wants to come here. I don't think we want to bring him. And I do think that there are other opportunities for him. I think he will ultimately end up signing somewhere else. My expectation that is he's going to probably end up being like a Dwayne Brown kind of signing. Okay. And that would be the smartest thing for him, which is wait until the draft. Some team's not going to get a tackle. And they'll overpay you to come in, and by that point,
training camp, right?
Like right before right after the draft, it's something's gonna happen, and then you're like, what happens when? And I again, knock on wood, I don't hope injury on any team, but like the Bengals just signed Trent Brown. What happens if walking onto the field he steps on a pebble and his knee explodes? Well, they've already visited with Mekhi Becton. You know what I mean? It's going to be a situation like that if I had to guess. But I would bring him in, but he doesn't want to come here. The Jets don't want him here. Let him go somewhere else.
I don't feel too differently about Mekhi Becton than how I do. I'm sorry, Nick?
I think we all agree with that. Becton's going to get humbled this offseason. I think he went into Cincinnati with, I'm a left tackle. I'm this. All right, Trent Brown, here's your contract.
I don't know if that happened because Orlando Brown Jr. is out there as the left tackle. Now he shouldn't be.
I'm just saying with the I'm deserving, I'm this, I'm that, and they were like, okay,
left tackle.
Yeah, that's your demand. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for coming out to Cincinnati. We're gonna bring someone else in. Oh, Trent Brown, here, reasonable contract. Here you go.
Yeah, let us know when you can handle a speed rusher, Mekhi. I actually don't feel too differently. This might sound a little bit of a strange comparison. I don't feel too differently about him than I do about the idea of Sam Darnold, because I would have been very interested in bringing Darnold in as the backup quarterback to Rodgers this year if he hadn't already been a Jet, if that baggage had not already been there. If Darnold had been anywhere other than the Jets, I think it would have made a ton of sense for him to be the backup because the raw tools, the right attitude, that kind of stuff, that would have made sense. Becton would have been sort of like that project that could have made sense. But again, it's a situation where both sides needed a new start. mental. It wasn't that I didn't think he didn't want to. I mean, he took the criticism personally. When he wore like the big bus shirt that one time when that in a press conference, that was just one example of it.
New York bothered him. You could tell.
Yeah.
New York bothered him.
I've always said I think that you need to have a different level of skin toughness to play in New York, because
for as
we the
much
fans,
skin as that 6'7" monster.
it wasn't tough enough. It wasn't tough enough because I think what it boils down to though is so many Jets fans know the game so well because we've seen bad football for so long. So we've literally made it our livelihood to go ahead and figure out why are we so bad, and we've watched hours upon hours of tape, analyzation. We're a very, very intelligent fan base. So when we see dumb stuff or stupid play or whatever, we're very, very vocal, and you need to be able to go ahead and handle that. And again, I don't think Mekhi had the tough skin for it.
And again, you know what? Again, when you come out of college, you're 21, 22 years old. It's okay to make a mistake here and there. That's fine. You're going to say the wrong thing. You might do the wrong thing. That's fine, but you learn from it. And I think there were just too many signs in certain ways that he wasn't really growing as a person the way we wanted him to, let alone how he was playing on the field. Because, hey, at least he played more this year, but the level of play was just too inconsistent. I mean, the penalties. One of the things I think we're most excited about with bringing in guys like Morgan Moses and Trent Brown, they don't take penalties. They don't kill drives. And that happened as bad as the offense was. Every time this offense made a big play this year, I don't know about you guys, I was looking at the turf, looking for yellow flags. And over and over, it was on the offensive line. It was on Alan Lazard, guys like that, guys who made stupid-ass plays.
Every time.
We have to reduce the players who make dumb plays. And Mekhi Becton, to me, is one of the main culprits there. And Alan Lazard's another one. His time's going to start going down unless we get the Rodgers-Lazard connection to be reestablished somehow in the few opportunities that he's going to have. But as soon as he has another false start, how does a wide receiver have a false start? Oh, I'm like, I still can't believe that actually happened. The second that happens, his ass is going to the bench because now they're better players than him. Players who are actually, are productive enough to where Lazard is not the de facto number 2 wide receiver.
I think that's the biggest thing that you said, is that we actually have competition now at every position on the field. No one's going to be given anything except for Aaron Rodgers. Like the offensive line, you guys, that's the offensive line. That's the quarterback. And then Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Like that's it, right? But the rest of the spots on the offense, like Izzy, if you want running back 2, like go earn it. Because I'm not just going to hand it to you because you were a draft pick. You want RB2? Go show us that you can be RB2. Where's that speed that we saw at Pittsburgh? Alan Lazard, you want to dress on Sundays? Earn it. Not, do you want to see the field? Do you want to just dress?
Yeah.
Go earn it. You know what I mean? And that's, I think,
be the most expensive 5th receiver in NFL history. Yes. The answer is yes.
I hope so.
Hopefully that's the cost.
Yeah, that might mean like Gibson or a player like that is stepping up too. So maybe that's actually the best thing that could happen.
I'd rather Irv Charles be the special teamer and then get
first play he caused a fumble, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm saying Irv Charles as a special teamer, I'd rather him be wide receiver 5 or 6 than it be Lazard. Like I think Salah had enough of his shit last year, and I don't think Adam, you said something that wasn't an awful take. I just think it was worded correctly. You said reconnect with Rodgers. The connection was never really good to begin with. Like it was always, let's hope he does better. Hope he does better. He's always been a wide receiver 4 at best. Scanling was ahead of him. Who's the other one in Green Bay ahead of him?
Well,
Devontae.
Every wide receiver.
I know every other wide receiver. Yeah.
Christian Watson.
There's the Alan Lazard thing was let's hope he can become something. But I think that he soured so quickly. Drops, penalties, that's not shit you get from a wide receiver. You play yourself to the bench because if you can't even line up right, I wouldn't play you in Pop Warner when you were 10 years old if you can't line up right. Like we're not even giving you the ball. We're running power. Your job is to just stand still and have a cornerback stand by you who's not going to make the play. I don't even need you to move when the ball gets snapped because you're irrelevant. I don't know. I don't want to see Alan Lazard step foot on the field for the New York Jets. I know people feel that way about Zach. I feel that way about Lazard. If you had to tell me we had to cut one and eat the contract, I would rather cut Lazard and eat the contract than to cut Zach and eat the contract. Zach, I could put on the practice squad. We're paying him whether he's here or not.
Yeah, no matter.
I'd rather put him on the practice squad. Let him be in the room with Tyrod and Aaron for the year. What was supposed to happen last year? Then throw Lazard a ball in a big moment. I'd rather have Zach in the fucking suite.
Zach can play safety on the practice squad for the show squad. Like, remember, Rodgers was killing it. He was killing it at safety last year. Remember, for the practice squad,
pick, right?
Just go do the same thing with Zach. Like, I totally agree. I would rather. There are a lot of things I would rather see than Alan Lazard being on the squad. So
I look at it this way.
I don't feel like Lazard is going to be in the McCall Hardman stage where he almost has to like earn his spot, earn his playing time, and now how is he going to take it? You know, we saw Hardman; his attitude went into the shitter. So let's see what Lazard does when he's trying to get those last few reps when he's competing against Gibson, Brownlee, Charles, whoever else the Jets may bring on as a UDFA. So I think there's a big comparison between Lazard now and Hardman previously. And that's not a place you want to be, as we all know.
Tigo and I have argued. He's called me a UDFA before. You dumb fucking asshole.
I don't think I've ever hit you with that.
I could have said that I said it to you, but I switched it.
Gunny, can he say that on Restream?
I mean, listen, this is my motherfucking show. We can say whatever the hell we want here. By all means.
I knew that we connected for a reason.
Yeah, let's be honest. Like, I did too many years in the Marine Corps to go ahead and be offended by big
for
boy
real,
words.
dude.
Like, yeah,
we weren't gonna.
I've been shot at before to be offended by words.
I have very little concern about monetization. I'm all about an authentic experience. So, however that
just don't play any audio.
Relates.
Just don't play any audio, and you could say whatever you want.
That's also big facts. Big facts.
Just don't play illegal audio. Don't have any copyright infringement.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You know how I talk. I got money coming in.
I've got licensed music and all that good stuff. I know the New York Jets allow Jets content creators to use their stuff. So, like, I've learned the lessons over the years. I did mess up a couple of times and use CBS and Fox stuff, and they were like, hey, don't do that. And I'm like, oh, now I know.
Guilty.
Next step is you got to find or become friends with someone who makes music, so that you have a massive catalog of free music.
Already have it. That's how I got my theme song for my intro, all that good stuff. I had one of my old police / Marines who got out is a producer, and he saw me doing stuff, and he was just like, yo, Gunny, how can I go ahead and help? I'd love to go ahead and write a song for you. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Do it, man.
My whole intro theme song is from a Marine who got out, who's a producer now, and sings. So, I feel you on that. That's the easiest way to go ahead and protect yourself.
I was in my house meeting. Can you play it before you get off the air? Are you playing it for the closing?
Sure, I'll play it for you right now. Hold on one second.
I missed it. I mean, I'll go back and watch.
So this song right here for the intro. Hold on, where's it at?
Side note with the NCAA, how does
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance. You know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance. You know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
Congratulations, brother.
And here we go. Yeah, that whole song was written by one of my old Marines.
That was a good day.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. That was a great day. You saw Jessica? Y'all saw Jessica, right? Freaking in the Jets lounge, just looking around, trying to figure things out.
Yep. Tigo, you were the only one missing, my man.
I was telling you guys.
It's hard to get out there. My baby was just born. It was hard to get out there.
Right.
I really wanted to.
That's exactly what.
But to be fair, Tigo came up this year, and you guys were missing. So
yeah, y'all the one bailed out. You missed.
I'm the only constant.
I never committed.
Jessica, of course, heard me talk to you guys about how she was in the video, looking around and whatnot, looking as thick as she was, right? And of course, the first thing she heard was, "You said I was looking around. What? I look lost." Nobody said you look lost.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word.
Nick, Adam, and T go like, "Nah, we didn't say a word."
I ain't gonna say nothing. A lady who was in the Marine Corps married a Marine. I know how to pick my battles.
She already automatically assumed you were talking shit. She was just like,
"Bro, I
enjoyed
learned
my time
to pick
with her.
my battles."
I didn't fear for my life at all. I didn't pee my pants twice when she threatened me. I was good.
Lies. Yeah, she apparently said, "Was Nick talking shit?" I'm like, "Nah, he actually didn't."
I haven't talked shit.
Nah, nobody's talking shit. Everybody was. I was just explaining the intro video, and I'm getting off. Listen, I should have been off already. So, gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for coming on. You made the first episode of Hanging Out with Gunny at the Virtual New York Jets Hangar a blast. Every Tuesday, I'm back. No more making tacos beforehand, having to jump on. It was too much. It was fun. It was just too much. I just want to come home.
Yeah, make your wife do that shit.
I'm sorry. No, we're not. You want me to tell her what you? I'm not doing that. So
yeah, Tigo, don't say that, Tigo. What's wrong with you, Tigo?
Dare.
Don't talk like that about her.
Don't you dare, dude.
I'm not even going to repeat it. I got to go to bed here soon. So I'm not even going to repeat it.
I want tacos, woman.
Gentlemen, go ahead and shout out your channels where everybody can go ahead and see you at. I appreciate the love and y'all showing up. Adam, you up first. Where can they go ahead and find you, brother?
Oh, man. Well, you guys can find me at NY Sports Wicker Media, like it says right down there. And I'll be doing the live show tomorrow night at 10 p.m. We're going to talk about the winners and the losers of free agency so far. Get a little more granular on Tyron Smith and Mike Williams. Maybe talk a little bit of the future draft stuff. We're going to take more of a look around the league and see who is taking a step forward, who's taking a step backwards, and who's kind of sort of straddling the fence. So, yeah, definitely check it out. 10 p.m. Wednesday nights. New York Sports Wicker Media.
Appreciate you. Tigo, where can we find you at, brother?
Don't subscribe to me. You've all go create another account and resubscribe to Gunny. Give him all of the subs. I don't need any love on this. Gunny, you're the best. Screw my channel. Screw everybody else's channel. Go make another account. Sub to Gunny again. And then once you've made that other channel, maybe hit all the subs for all of us again. But that's
there we go.
That's a different conversation. You're doing it for Gunny, but then it's right there. Talking Jets with Tigo. You can go hit the sub button on that one too.
Shortest answer he's given all week.
Nick, where can we find you, brother?
Home of the future and the 6-time national champion North Carolina Tar Heels, baby. Top of the food chain. Tournament starts Thursday, 2:45.
Wagner.
You can find me, Proud New York Jet Fan, on Twitter, Facebook, Proud New York Jets Fans Group. Tomorrow night with Egghead, Jets Chaos, 9 p.m. Sunday nights at 9 o'clock on my channel, 10 o'clock on Thursdays, and whenever anything happens, I'm popping on. I might even pop on now since right after you're done.
Hey, you got time, right? Listen,
I might.
Go eat dinner and
Anyone want to hang?
Work in the morning.
That's fine.
Let me go empty my bowels and we'll see.
It's the best way to start a show, man. You don't have to worry about it during the show. It's a good thing to do.
Hey, listen, I appreciate
shout
you
out
guys
to everybody in the chat who took it amongst themselves to mention that I have 9 toes at least 9 times. You guys are the best. You guys are awesome.
Hey, they know you though.
Nick's always a 9. Nick is always a 9 seed. What can I say?
Hey, I want to thank you guys for joining me, man. Y'all made this significantly more fun, and I actually went significantly over the time frame I had allotted for this. This is what happens when you're having a good time talking about the New York Jets. So I appreciate you guys, because the first episode of Hanging at the Hangar with Gunny wouldn't have been great without you guys. So I appreciate you guys, and again, thank you to Dano and Bobby for coming on earlier today. But I do want to go ahead and say this. So Tyson Raj of the Let's Talk Jets Radio is doing some amazing thing in terms of mental illness awareness this week. He's doing some stuff I haven't done in years. He's going to go ahead and be doing the David Goggins challenge. So I wanted to go ahead and share that with everybody. You know, that it's awesome to kind of see somebody who hasn't really never served in the military, but he has such a level of support for veterans and whatnot. Definitely want to go ahead and share this with him right now. So Tyson on March the 24th is attempting a much harder version of the David Goggins Challenge to raise mental health awareness and to support our veterans. 5 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. Listen, I highly urge you to go ahead and jump on his Twitter space, buy a shirt, or you can go ahead and do a GoFundMe. I'll tell you this. You can go to GoFundMe and do the $25, and he's going to send you a shirt anyway. I went and just bought a shirt directly. Either way, like, support this man. Like, it's awesome to kind of see somebody, again, outside of the military space taking so much of his own efforts trying to go ahead and bring awareness to something that plagues a lot of our fellow veterans. Me, myself, being a veteran, my wife being a veteran, like my friends, predominantly veterans, we truly appreciate it. So I couldn't go ahead and end this first episode without giving a shout out to Tyson Rosh for what he's doing, man. Again, that's his freaking information right now on Twitter. If you're interested in potentially helping him and donating to his GoFundMe as he takes on this challenge over the next 48 hours. Again, he tried to ask me to go ahead and give him about 30 miles. Man, that was so many years ago and pounds ago that I could go ahead and assist with 30 miles that he requested. Tyson, my bad, man. I'm not in shape for that. I did so I appreciate what you're doing. So I wanted to make sure I shared that with everybody.
Please do. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No,
this
go
is
ahead,
such I have lost too many friends
Yep.
to this stuff, and I don't want to lose any more. And so seeing someone, like you said, who wasn't in the military, taking it upon themselves to help us out is awesome. So if you can, I would say, if you were thinking about supporting any of our channel, I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but if you're a sub to my channel and, you know, a member of my channel, I would say go cancel that stuff and give the money to this, just because this is more important than any donation to any like, I've said it again. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I've lost too many friends to mental health stuff after coming home.
Yep.
And I don't want to lose any more. So let's take care of our boys.
Facts. I appreciate you, Tigo. Like, and I told Tyson, man, he's one of the real ones, because very rarely do we see individuals outside of the uniform doing stuff like this. So for me, it hit home with me, my wife, Tigo, like having served and whatnot, seeing we've lost friends. Tyson's doing literally God's work, right? Some individuals have a hard time asking for help. He's going out there to go ahead and making sure that it's okay. Even the shirt that he designed talks about how it is okay to ask for help. Again, like Tigo just said, if your support can only be focused in one direction, I understand, like, right now times are tough for everybody. By all means, I think this is a great cause. Please take a look at it. Jump on Tyson's Twitter account and go ahead and support his challenge this coming week. All right. And with that said, listen, that's it. I'm done. I got to go ahead and eat dinner with the family. I'm going to be here every Tuesday night, 7:30. The goal was 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Central. As you can tell, I kind of went over that time frame today, but this is what happens when you have awesome potential individuals to join you and talk Jets football. You get carried away, things happen. But before I leave, I wanted to leave y'all with this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There will be giveaways that will be coming as the season gets closer. I did some awesome giveaways last year. Some of the individuals that you currently see sitting in this panel have been recipients of some of those giveaway gifts. So if you're not following us on YouTube right now, you're going to miss out on opportunities potentially to see a collab of giveaways happening over this offseason and going into the season. So I promise you, we give away some awesome stuff. You might want to go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. And allow yourself to have an opportunity to go ahead and take advantage. With that said, I wanted to leave you guys with my exit video. Again, I stated earlier how the New York Jets went from being Steve Urkel to Stephon Urkel. We got Tyron Smith. We got Mike Williams coming into the building for dirt cheap. And I would be remiss if I didn't at least do right by y'all and explain to y'all what I meant by them signing us, because now we're where it's at. Everybody wants to be us. So with
finish right now.
Oh, see, I'm still learning. Don't mind me.
Oh, I thought dancing.
Wait.
I thought you were gonna play Stephon dancing.
No. This is even better. Just take a look. This is even better.
Another transformation change.
You gotta just wait.
Night.